Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Janelle snaps at Robyn. Madison can't believe her eyes. From the beginning, Janelle Brown stood apart from the other wives. She wasn't overly emotional, dramatic, or competitive. She was often the voice of reason, a practical, no-nonsense provider who gave structure to the chaotic polygamist household Cody had created. Janelle took care of finances, managed household logistics, and raised her children with independence and stability in mind. She didn't push for romantic affection from Cody like Christine or Mary. She allowed him space, trusted his vision for plural marriage, and focused on what she could control: her kids, her work ethic, and her values. And yet, for all her sacrifices, Janelle was often sidelined in Cody's emotional priorities. When Robyn Brown entered the family, Janelle was one of the few who didn't object to her presence. She gave Robyn a fair shot. But as the years wore on, even she couldn't ignore what was happening. Chapter 2, Robyn becomes the center, the unequal emotional dynamic. Robyn Brown was welcomed into the family in 2010, and it didn't take long before fans noticed the favoritism from Cody. While Mary, Christine, and Janelle had to make countless compromises, Robyn was handed grace, financial privileges, and emotional exclusivity. For a long time, Janelle didn't speak out. She supported the other wives in expressing their concerns, but she stayed in her lane. That's what made her recent outburst so shocking, not just to viewers, but to her daughter Madison, who rarely saw her mother act with such visible frustration and anger. Chapter 3, The Trigger, What Led Janelle to Snap. Season 19 has been building toward this moment. In recent episodes, tensions between Cody and his former wives have reached new heights. Janelle and Mary have been working on the Coyote Pass land situation, trying to make sure they walk away with their fair share after years of investment. But Robyn, still legally married to Cody, has remained insulated from the fallout. She's made repeated attempts to control the narrative, often positioning herself as a victim and subtly blaming the other wives for the family's unraveling. In a scene from a recent family discussion, Robyn reportedly began tearing up, saying how unfair it was that the family had turned against her and how she just wanted the family she dreamed of. This time, Janelle couldn't take it. She fired back, reportedly saying, "Robyn, stop acting like you didn't have a part in this. You benefited while the rest of us kept the family going. You got the house, the time, the attention, and now you want to cry about being isolated? We've been isolated for years." It wasn't just the words. It was the tone, the fire, and the years of pent-up exhaustion that stunned everyone, including Madison. Chapter 4, Madison's Shock, A Daughter Sees a New Side of Her Mother. Madison Brush, Janelle and Cody's daughter, has always spoken respectfully of her mother. She admired Janelle's strength, her calm nature, and her dedication to the family's values, even when things got hard. To see her mother snap at Robyn in such an unfiltered, unapologetic way? It shook her. According to production leaks and behind-the-scenes accounts, Madison didn't say a word for several minutes after the argument. Later, in a confessional, she shared, "I've never seen my mom like that. She's always been composed, even when things were unfair. But something in her just cracked. I think it's been building for years." For Madison, it wasn't just about the moment. It was about realizing how much her mother had endured, and how little acknowledgement she'd received from Cody or Robyn. She wasn't just watching a fight, she was watching a woman reclaim her voice. Chapter 5, The Family Reaction, Divided Loyalties and Shifting Power. The aftermath of Janelle's confrontation was chaotic. Christine, watching from the sidelines, reportedly nodded in agreement with Janelle. Mary appeared stunned but not unsupportive. Cody, as expected, was furious and defensive of Robyn. He allegedly told Janelle, "You're just bitter. You always expected me to fail Robyn so you could say, 'I told you so.'" But for fans and other family members, it was clear, Janelle wasn't attacking Robyn out of jealousy. She was defending her own truth after years of being expected to carry burdens without complaint. The younger Brown children, including those of Christine and Janelle, reportedly sided with Janelle. They saw her struggle, her strength, and her effort. Robyn, meanwhile, retreated to tears, once again creating a dynamic that painted her as the wounded party. Chapter 6, Online Reactions, Fans Rally Behind Janelle. When the episode aired, social media exploded. Fans flooded Twitter/X, Reddit, and Instagram with support for Janelle. Hashtags like #JusticeForJanelle, #TeamJanelle, and #Robyn the Manipulator trended for days. One fan tweeted, "Janelle has stayed quiet for years. The fact that she finally snapped just proves how emotionally manipulative Robyn has been all along. I stand with Janelle." Another commented on Reddit, "This was a cathartic moment. We've all watched Janelle carry the emotional labor of this family. Robyn got the ring, the house, the husband, but Janelle had the integrity." Madison herself posted a cryptic message on Instagram stories, saying, "Sometimes strength means holding it all in. Sometimes it means finally letting it out." Chapter 7, Was Janelle Justified? Analyzing the emotional weight. Janelle's outburst may seem out of character, but it was a natural evolution. Her choice to finally confront Robyn was not about drama, it was about dignity. Over the years, Janelle supported Cody's vision, tried to be fair to Robyn, and never sought to play victim. But she watched as Robyn got a $900,000 house while the others rented or struggled. Robyn monopolized Cody's time while others raised their kids solo. Robyn cried on camera while quietly benefiting from everyone else's sacrifices. Janelle's breaking point wasn't cruel, it was overdue. And Madison's stunned reaction only made it more impactful. Seeing your role model speak truth to power is life-changing. Chapter 8, The Bigger Picture, What This Means for Sister Wives. This moment was more than a verbal altercation. It signaled a new era for sister wives. One where the women no longer silently accept emotional inequality. One where daughters like Madison see their mothers demand the respect they deserve. With the sale of Coyote Pass, the breakdown of the Brown family is almost complete. Janelle's snap at Robyn was not just a clash of personalities. It was the embodiment of an entire failed structure, of a system where only one wife ever truly won. Will Janelle continue on the show? That's uncertain. But what is clear is this, she's not staying silent anymore. Chapter 9, Robyn's Response, Real Tears or Strategic Sympathy? Robyn reportedly felt blindsided by Janelle's outburst. In her confessional, she said, "I never meant to hurt anyone. I've always tried to bring this family together. I thought we were closer than that." But many fans and even family members weren't buying it. Robyn's tearful apologies have become a pattern, tears when she's confronted, silence when others are suffering, and quiet complicity when Cody lashes out. Her emotional displays may have worked in the past. But this time, Janelle's truth hit too hard, and Robyn's response felt like deflection, not remorse. Chapter 10, The Final Word, Janelle's Legacy as a Sister Wife. When history is written about the Brown family, Janelle will not be remembered as the drama queen or the favorite wife. She will be remembered as the most level-headed, the most independent, the most selfless. And when she finally stood up, it wasn't petty. It was powerful. Madison's stunned silence was the silence of a daughter watching her mother become a force of nature. Conclusion, a turning point for the Brown women. Janelle's confrontation with Robyn changed everything. For the first time, the most stoic wife in the family lost her cool, and fans, family members, and her own daughter saw it as a moment of justified rebellion. This moment will define the trajectory of sister wives moving forward. Will Robyn finally acknowledge her part in the family's breakdown? Will Cody take responsibility for his favoritism? Will Madison and the other children take sides publicly? Whatever happens, one thing is clear, Janelle has stepped into her power, and the world is here for it. Madison saw her mother break free, and fans around the globe did too. Janelle has always been considered the logical wife, calm, measured, and deeply independent. She didn't engage in drama the way Mary sometimes did or throw down ultimatums like Christine. Instead, she focused on building a life for herself and her children, often putting her own needs aside to keep the family functioning. But cracks began to show long before this alleged confrontation with Robyn. Janelle started pushing back more publicly during the COVID-19 pandemic, especially when Cody tried to enforce strict protocols that prioritized Robyn's family unit. Janelle's frustration wasn't only with Cody. She made it clear that Robyn's influence over Cody was damaging the entire plural family system. For years, Janelle kept her composure. But her patience has limits, especially when it comes to her children and their treatment. Chapter 2, Robyn Brown, the catalyst of division? Robyn has become one of the most polarizing figures on Sister Wives. Some fans sympathize with her. After all, she entered the Brown family dynamic later than the other wives and tried to integrate her children from a previous marriage. Others, however, view her as the instigator of the family's downfall. She's often seen crying in confessionals, blaming herself while simultaneously denying wrongdoing. Cody's overt favoritism of Robyn has caused a fracture that many believe can never be healed. And from the outside looking in, Robyn rarely seems to take accountability for the ripple effects her presence and relationship with Cody have had on the other wives. In the moment when Janelle reportedly snapped, all that unspoken tension erupted, perhaps because Janelle saw Robyn once again trying to manipulate the situation in her favor. Chapter 3, What Allegedly Happened, The Shocking Exchange. While TLC hasn't aired the scene yet, sources and fan speculation suggest the clash between Janelle and Robyn happened during a family meeting about Coyote Pass or one of the kids' memorial tributes, possibly relating to Garrison, whose tragic passing left a gaping wound in the Brown family. During the conversation, Robyn allegedly began redirecting the focus onto her own emotional pain, which triggered a raw response from Janelle. After months of grief, frustration with Cody, and watching her children be sidelined, Janelle is said to have raised her voice and called Robyn out, directly and without hesitation. "You've made this all about yourself, Robyn. My children are hurting, this isn't the Robyn show." Madison, standing nearby, was reportedly left completely stunned. She had never seen her mother raise her voice like that, especially not to Robyn, who has historically gotten a pass from most of the family when it comes to conflict. Chapter 4, Madison's Reaction, Shock, Recognition, and Support. Madison Brown, now a mother herself and living in North Carolina, has always seemed grounded and practical, traits she clearly inherited from her mom. She's shown support for both her parents publicly but has increasingly seemed to gravitate toward her mother's perspective. Madison's reaction during this confrontation is said to be a mix of shock and pride. She knew her mom had been bottling up feelings for years. But seeing Janelle finally voice what so many in the family had only whispered about was a revelation. Madison's eyes reportedly filled with tears, not out of sadness, but from the overwhelming relief of witnessing her mother take back her power. She finally said it. She finally said what we've all been thinking. That single moment may have forever altered how the adult Brown children view Robyn's role, and their father's loyalty. Chapter 5, Robyn's Response, Tears, Denial, and a Familiar Pattern. Robyn's immediate reaction? Shock. Reports suggest she cried, a common emotional response seen countless times on Sister Wives. She may have denied wrongdoing or accused Janelle of being cruel or unfair. But the family dynamic has changed. Robyn's usual tactics didn't land the same way they used to. The adult children are no longer under Cody's roof, and Janelle is no longer trying to keep the peace at the cost of her dignity. Robyn's tears, once powerful and persuasive, reportedly fell on deaf ears. Chapter 6, Cody's Absence, Where Was He? One of the biggest questions surrounding this moment is Cody's location during the conflict. Was he there? Did he try to interrupt? Or did he do what he's done in the past, sit back and let the women resolve things on their own? Sources and speculation suggest Cody was either silent or absent. Either way, it adds to the growing narrative that he no longer has control over the family. The wives and adult children are charting their own courses, with or without his involvement. Chapter 7, The Bigger Picture, Janelle's Evolution. This confrontation was not just about Robyn. It was a culmination of years of disrespect, neglect, and favoritism. Janelle, once the peacemaker, is now a woman who demands respect. Fans have noted Janelle's glow up over the past year, from her 2025 detox program and wellness journey.